another podcast. This is my first podcast of the month of September, the first in a trilogy, but I've done the third one already, so I got to just do one more after this one tomorrow, and that is The Librarian, The Quest for the Spear extended cut. Yeah, we're going to do this one. This is an hour and 45 minutes, or 46 minutes, so let's get it done. I'm just glad I only have to do two, not three, because I did the third movie already with Stanicatic. Now I got to do these two. No while. The Librarian, yeah, I'll stick with the movies. I'm not going to see the TV show ever again. It was just too painful. Kyle MacLachlan's in this movie. You got Sonia Walger, who I don't care about, but she's not in the first 20 or 30 minutes of the movie. Jane Curtin, she's good. Kelly Hu. And Olympia Dukakis, may she rest in peace. And also Bob Newhart, may he rest in peace. I'm not going to say that with every entry because I already did that with the third movie. Where's my... I'm just glad that... because Noah Ball was a good character and they made him a side character. He's not the lead character in the TV show. They had new characters that were very hit and miss for me. And the new show, I didn't even bother watching it. I saw 10 minutes of the next chapter, and I was done. I was like, this is too foreign for me. I hate it. It says an hour and 46 minutes, but that's because it's the extended cut. It's kind of like Indiana Jones, but it's not as long. That's a set. It's not a real... Because all the girls in these movies, he never stays with them anyway. Does the light look better over here? Yeah. Well, let me just put it over here. It looks fine. At least the movie's not that long. It's not 2 hours. Flynn Carson is his name. There's special features, but there's no commentary. It says an introduction by Noah Wild, the librarian's behind the scenes, visual effects commentary on selected scenes. Oh, there is a commentary, I think, but I'm still going to do it. I'll just hear it in October or November. Ritz Hiver. I need electricity in this room. I'm not avoiding life. I have plenty of life left. I just don't want to deal with people stealing, robbing me of my sanity. Because that's what's happened throughout most of the summer. That's why I'm glad summer's over soon. The new Superman suit, I like it. It's fine. This one has no special features, right? No, this one has only special effects artists. That's it. I'm from the East Coast. I'm gonna get some things signed at Comic-Con. There he is. There's Bob Newhart. I miss him a lot. It's too bad he had to pass away, but he was old. The S sign is fine. It's not as good as the original, but at least it's better than the Man of Steel one. The Man of Steel costume I hated because that S looked like it was gonna explode. We all have to move on, Finland. There's Olympia. Yeah, classics. In case you don't read books, those are classics. I need to read more in the fall. I barely read in the summer. What am I watching this movie? The Librarian Quest for the Spear. They have this on streaming, so it's easy to find. Just look for it on Peacock or Tubi or even on Amazon Prime. I think they have it there too. So it's a really easy movie to find since it's a TV movie with a mostly good cast. I just don't care for the British chick in this one or in the second movie. Because I told you, British chicks are dead to me mostly. They're mostly dead to me. All they did was to cause me a lot of pain and stress and just anxiety. Yeah, I can get anxiety too, Josh. But my anxiety doesn't keep me from stop. It's not going to stop me from doing my podcast. I got to do a podcast. I'm doing it for me because August I took too many breaks because of my family issues. But no more. No, it's not a crime. It's better to learn than to be stupid. Some of the CG is dated in this movie, but that's because it came out in the 2000s. It says 2004, so this was over 20 years ago. So the CGI is not going to look as good as it does now, if it's good at all. The last thing I want is for strangers to be here. At least when he knocked down the books, he was sitting down. In The Mummy, Rachel Weisz knocks down the entire freaking shelves of all the books in the library, and she's stupid for doing that. That's a cartoon. Who knocks down an entire library? Even in Harry Potter, they didn't do that. It's like the golden ticket from Willy Wonka. Metropolitan Public Library. I've never been to that library before. I'm going to the library Saturday, so I don't have to be stuck here. I got a lot of things to do that day, so no podcast that Saturday, because I'm going to be out all day getting things done. Yep, that line is long. Just like the line to Comic-Con. Waiting for these autographs. And good God, how long is that line? Yeah. I hate lines. You don't live in America, Ritz? At least here you have freedom. You don't have to be scared to walk down the street like in some countries over in the other side of the world. Oh, you're from that? Alabama's in the U.S. It's not like you're from Georgia. This is Jane Curtin. She only had a cameo in the TV series. That's what I didn't like about the TV series, that the main characters from the movies were nowhere to be found. They were underused. Mostly. Because Bob Newhart made a final appearance and then he passed away this year. Or last year. And then Jane Curtin was in one or two episodes. Because at the convention, I'm not going to have any regrets or any anxiety. Because I'm not going with my parents. I'm going by myself. Yes, she does. Jane Curtin did a lot of comedy. Carson. Yeah, I hate that. I hate going to interviews. I know. Trust me, after the pandemic, I'm never going to be the same. I miss you, Bob. It's a beautiful looking set. One of my favorites. Because it's not a Shakespeare tragedy. Yeah, I wanted to do these movies because why not? It's not like I have anything out better to watch. Lilo and Stitch comes out on Disney Plus tomorrow. I'm gonna see that. This intro is fine. It's when we get to Sonia Wilder, the movie kind of takes a dip for me a little bit because I don't care about the British chicks in these movies. The third one's the best one because it got Stana Katic, who isn't British. She's Croatian and Serbian and Canadian, not British. She's a natural talent, unlike some of the women in these movies and TV shows. I liked Lindy Booth and Rebecca Romaine in the show, but the guys in it were very hit and miss. Because John Kim is terrible in that show. His accent makes no freaking sense because it's a show that wasn't even filmed in Australia. And why does he have an Australian accent? I don't know. Because Hollywood is obsessed with the foreign market. Artifacts. There's the Ark from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Well, yeah, you couldn't touch it because with your bare hands because you would die. Here, you just get electrocuted. At least Bob Newhart was. He lived long enough to do all three movies, but not. He only did one episode of the TV show, and then the new TV show he couldn't do it because he died, and the new show was not even needed. It's boring. These are actually replicas because they couldn't have the real artifacts here. Was that Pandora's box? Mm-hmm. Those effects look okay for 2004. It's some of the CG later in the film that looks really neat. You know, the planet that James Cameron had to steal from in Avatar. I don't want to live there in a planet where there's floating mountains and flying dragons and dinosaurs and horses with holes in their neck. Yeah, no thanks. I'd rather live on Earth until I die. Mm-hmm. Exactly. We only use 10% of our brains. That's why there's so many stupid people in this world. I'm glad I could do podcasts on my phone because a year ago I couldn't. There's Excalibur, the sword. It's alive. It's a good story, but man, these last King Arthur movies have been atrocious. That last one in the theater was pretty painful. This is way better because while it doesn't have the budget of a big budget blockbuster, it's got the ambition and the entertainment value. I know it's a lot to take in, Josh. I've done research, but I can take this because this movie's under 2 hours. Wicked was 2 hours and 40 minutes. The goose that lays the golden egg. It's a real goose. It's not CGI. No, it's the year of the snake. So yeah, Bob Newhart was so funny, man. He did this right after Elf. Nope. If Rebecca Romaine was in this movie, that would have been great. But she was doing X-Men too, so and the Punisher. So she was too busy. She's more theatrical than a TV actress. That's why she's going to be in Doomsday because they need the nostalgia of the real Mystique. Because poor Jennifer Lawrence just didn't want to do it anymore, and I don't blame her. After doing 4 of those movies with the makeup, yeah, I would be sick of it too. But you have to commit. When you're an actor, you have to commit because if you don't commit, the door's right there. Don't let it hit you on the bum on the way out. I had to commit when I did acting on stage. I never say no. You have to say yes. Mostly. A jetpack, what is that from James Bond? I'll try to do another DC movie in this month if I can find one. I can't take things in either, Josh, because I'm not going to get a sickness. I don't want to be like poor Michael J. Fox that he got sick because of, well, bad water and also stress didn't help. Unicorn. Gawain. Who's Sir Gawain? No. He didn't. And plus, it wouldn't break. It's not made of glass. It's not made of glass. I always commit, even to these podcasts. I commit because I'm like, I want to show my face because I'm not running from anything anymore. Fall is almost here. Comic-Con is in a month and a half, and I'm going. Nothing's going to stop me. King Arthur, yeah. Stress can cause a lot. I know. Trust me, Josh. I had a month of it already. That's Kyle MacLachlan. He's not dead. I saw him at the convention, I think last year, but from a distance. Because there's so many people at these conventions that it's hard to meet all. Hey, everything needs a place. There's a time and place for everything. Because I'm not going to waste my youth on being dealing with the same problems. Wait, it's a piece of wood here. Throw that away. Yeah, I took out my Sawyer shelf, my coat rack that had all my costumes and all the hoodies because I'm like I had to. Mainly because I just wanted more space in my room. There's Kyle MacLachlan again. Oh, she's beautiful. Kelly who? See, they don't introduce the girl until like 30-some minutes into the movie. This is not rated, but there's some violence in it, but it's not too much. Because Bob Newhart got attacked. But it's just knocked him out. They don't kill him off. The TV show already did that. That's why some movies should just stay movies and not become TV shows. That's why when Harry Potter gets that new show, I'm not going to see it. I've already wasted enough time. I'm not going to see a show. I'll just stick with Percy Jackson. That's coming back in December. That will fill the void. I don't want to hear people throwing a hissy fit. Oh, look, they made Dumbledore black. Why does that matter? Or Snape? I don't care. I'm only a casual fan of Harry Potter. I'm not a hardcore fan. They already diversified Star Wars. What else can hurt me now? Huh? Nothing. Took the spear. At least it's not the Dot of Destiny, because that. No, there's no mystical powers. There is no spear. Take these socks off. They're too heavy. These are for the winter. These are thermal socks. See? Yeah, this is the exposition, getting it out of the way. We're 32 minutes in. Plus, I haven't done a TV movie in a while. Most of the films I've done were theatrically released. Because I did all the Back to the Future films and the game plan. It's his adventure. Amazon. What? Yep. Of course, 17 years. Mm-hmm. And the oh yeah, the doors open up like. Yeah, the beaming light is a bit much, but it's an adventure movie. This is not a historical drama. Just to let you know. And this is not a biblical movie either. This is where the movie starts to take it. Yeah. This has not been Her or the Ten Commandments. This is nothing like that. I will never do one of those movies because they're not for me. They're too long, too preachy, and I already know the story. I don't need to be beaten over the head with it. I want to do shorter podcasts in the fall. Nothing 3 hours. Unless it's Endgame. That's the only thing I'm doing that long for a while. Because this chick just comes out of nowhere, and it took long for her to come after 30-something minutes. Yeah, not a fan. I've seen better looking chicks. Jennifer Coolidge is better looking than this chick, and she's older because she has those big bosoms and that sexy face. I see what I can do. Yeah, there's stuff coming out, Josh. Don't act like there's nothing coming out, because there isn't. There's no more Marvel or DC movies, but the DC shows will be back. The Batman King Crusader will be back soon. We got Marvel Zombies. That's a show coming out at the end of September. 4 episodes. Yes, I think Karen's in it. And Iman is in it, so that's good. Yeah, I don't care. We know. You don't have to tell us. I hate that you talk like this. Yeah. Sonia Wagner, just shove it. Please, I wish you were silent. I wish all your people were silent. You talk too much. Too much. Like half the dialogue comes to this British chick. You don't have a situation, Josh. Once you move, you can see your King Kong Blu-ray or whatever that is. I know it's long, but it'll give you plenty of time to think. I'm not doing a movie that long, no. Unless it's December, I'm not gonna do a 3-hour movie. Just Endgame when I can find a way to see it in this room. It's 12:07, 39 minutes in. Of the birds. Birds don't speak English. They speak bird, whistles and tweets and all that. This character is so useless because in the next movie she doesn't come back and we get another British chick that I don't care about. No, you're not Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson has the perfect ratio. That's why I call her the most beautiful blonde I have ever seen in my life. There's nothing coming out. There is stuff coming out, Josh. Look with your eyes. Elizabeth's in it. Yes, her, Iman, and a bunch of others. They're just zombies, so it's not going to be for kids. They're going to be eating brains or necks or whatever. You are the sexiest one. That Asian woman is one of the sexiest things I've ever seen in my life. It's like Nia Damison, like 30 years older. She is so yummy. I've always felt that with Kelly Hu. Ever since I saw her in Surf Ninjas when I was 8. She's sexy. Her voice is soothing. Her hair's dark, her eyes are squinty, and she wasn't in the Lilo and Stitch movie. Slytherin? No, that's Harry Potter. I'm sorry. There's snakes. Yeah. Here we go. Some action. It took a little while. Of course, there's some sound effects. Yeah, wanna be Lara Croft. Why do people hate Peter Jackson? He didn't remake Lord of the Rings. Rings of Power, he had nothing to do with. You're making an excuse, Josh. Just do it already. You have movies, do them. I'm watching a TV movie, for crying out loud. That's an hour and 46 minutes. How long is this one? It's not an hour and 46. It's an hour and 32. So it's a lot shorter. Good. Ah! And these people don't hear. Noah Wild's fun in the show, in these movies. And when he did some episodes of the show. Because he knew what he was in. See, that CG looks really dated. But again, it was 2004. No one hates Peter Jackson. Mortal Engines, he produced that movie. He didn't direct it. Now they're in the Amazon. Trust me, that makes two of us. It's not 100 years old. It's 90. 92 years old, Josh. Not 100. In 2033, Kong will be 100 years old. Don't make excuses. All these British chicks sound the same. There's barely anyone's with soothing voices. Rebecca Ferguson doesn't sound like this. She was born in Sweden. So they're in the Amazon. Because even in The Catch, I didn't care about her in that show either. That show already had Morel Enos, and she's gorgeous. She's not some British chick. The Hobbit trilogy was going to be divisive no matter who directed it. It's just like with George Lucas with the prequels. Yet those have a much better following than the sequel trilogy. That was hated because they had no plan. With the Hobbit, they had plans. With the prequels, they had a plan. You have to have a plan. You can't just do things out of nowhere and just go. Yeah, you got to have a plan. I made plans this month, and I'm gonna do it, no matter what odds go against me. Because after the month of August, nothing can go against me. Because there's no anticipation. September's not summer anymore. Once we get in 20 days, it'll be fall. Goodbye hot weather. Hello cool weather. Goodbye months of suffering and hello months of nerdism. That is a nice shot for 2004. It's like, I don't want to do Kong Skull Island because Bree's in it. Stop making excuses, Josh. Do it. Move, and then do your podcast. You have no more excuses after that. You're not moving in 10 years. You got to do it within the next 4 months. The year's almost over. That's a lot of walking. I probably walked 24.7 miles this year alone. Like I said, life doesn't have excuses. You either do things or you don't. That's life. Once you're an adult, you're responsible for your own life. Whee! No, you think? That was a monkey, a real monkey with a tail. Oh man, right in the kisser. Look at those flowers. You have to make plans, Josh. Write it down if you have to. Which reminds me, I have to write my Christmas list soon because it's already September. And yeah. Mm. You saw that spider? You won't. I won't be caught dead in the Amazon. I don't want to get bitten by a spider that could make me paralyzed or something. Cause that cupcake. Why? In the next movie in King Solomon's Mine, she's not there. It's a beautiful bird. You could have 1,000 movies, Josh. If you don't put the effort, nothing's going to happen. I don't make excuses. I grab a movie I haven't done yet and I do a podcast for it. It's as simple as that. It's not hard. Because I have a DVD player in my room. And then I could use my other devices to watch something on streaming. He's the main character. You're not. You weren't in the first 30 minutes of the movie. Javiez. Just for this one movie. She never comes back in the sequels or in the TV show. It's a bridge, a wooden bridge. That's barely a bridge. That's a screensaver. An empty chat, I don't care about an empty chat. I do this with a chat or without a chat. That's not the chat's not what's important to me. What's important is I get it out and people will hear what I have to say. That's what a commentary is for, not a Q&A. Again. Also, the thing of the guy and the girl not getting along and then becoming lovers at the end. That got old years ago, guys. Why can't people just get along when they work together? It's like a video game. They should have done Uncharted like this. Because this basically is like an Uncharted movie or Uncharted game. It's very similar. He's dressed like Nathan Drake. Instead, they cast Tom Holland. Why? Because he's a moneymaker for Sony. So Warner Brothers released this. Butterflies. It's a pretty visual. We're almost an hour in, so the movie's almost half done. Noah Wild also was good in Falling Skies was also a good show that he did. I didn't finish it because it got too pretentious at the end, but whatever. That's my fault for having my hopes up. Leaves. At least I could finish this movie. You mean the Slytherin? We already know Miles is going to be the next movie. They're setting all this up so that they can make him carry the torch in the next decade. Because Tom Holland's not going to be Spider-Man in 10 years. We already know that. They want to get somebody young to take the reins. Don't. Dean Devlin was the executive producer of this. He did Independence Day and Godzilla. And I think Stargate as well. Headphones. there is no way. I do a podcast no matter how I feel. I did a podcast while having COVID, Josh. Can you say the same thing? No. Because 3 years ago I did the Cops and Robertson. I was infected with COVID at that time, and that's why I didn't have a lot of energy. But I have a lot of energy now because fall is almost here. Yeah. I still think Gabrielle was the much worse chick in this franchise because she won't shut up and she looks like a fish. Wilger's not good, but she's way more tolerable than Gabrielle Anwar. Anwar can't act at all. And she's a skinny stick. She makes Zoe Saldana look fat. At least Zoe Saldana can act. Ghost Spider. Oh, they're already setting all of this up. Why do you think Sadie Sink is in it? They didn't want Sadie Sink to be wasted in Madam Web. They put her in something good. Head shrinker. No, Sadie isn't Gwen, but she's a character that can lead to her. Or she's just MJ. She has red hair. I think we're gonna be just fine. "58 minutes in. I don't want to do a 2-hour movie. It's a lot to take. The only one I'm doing is Spider-Verse, the second Spider-Verse. Portuguese? So are they in Brazil or Portugal, like Danielle? That's not Spanish, by the way. You can't have two. Yes, you can, Josh. We had 3 Spider-Men in the last one. And we had like 85 across the Spider-Verse. So, yeah, they can be multiple versions of anybody at this point. They could literally... The Punisher's going to be in it. He's not there to play games. He's there to shoot people. In case you didn't see the Netflix show or the 2004 movie. And I'm fine with it. At least Daredevil won't be in the story. If he is, it'll be a cameo. Portuguese. That's what Daniela speaks. The thing is that Michelle Jones is not MJ. She's an MJ from another timeline. She's not Mary Jane Watson. They were not going to do that because, again, the diversity thing won't work for a second time. Because if they made her MJ like Mary Jane Watson, I'm like, yeah, a Mary Jane Watson that's black and has no red hair. Yeah, they were not going to do that. They have to make her another character. It's like Ned is not Harry Osborn. He's not. He's a different character. It's a different character. No, he's having. No, no. You're having an episode. We're 61 minutes in, so we got about 40 some minutes to go. That guy clearly is a Mexican. I know, he looks Mexican. They thought that Pedro Pascal, well, he's from Chile, guys, not, that's South America, not Central America or Mexico. People are just so stupid. They're racist. They don't know one person from another. It's like Coco and Encanto. They're not from the same region. Coco was Mexico and Encanto was Colombia. Different regions of the world. The spectacle is fine here, but my favorite one is the third one. It's completely different. It's vampires. It's a real jungle, by the way. It's a set, but still, it looks real. It's not some CGI. What'd you do that for? I know they can be racist, Josh. I know. Bye, Slytherin. Yeah, real water, guys. This isn't James Cameron where I'm going to spend $300 million on water. Not drinking water, water where they can swim in. And put a bunch of my CGI optics. Waste of money, James Cameron. I'm sorry. I could literally go outside across the street and jump in a lake and film it, and that would be much better than your 3-hour movie. Because it's real. It's not CGI. You know GoPros are waterproof? Yep, real water. Because I'm tired of this fakery. I saw Jungle Cruise. I'm like, why was this made? It's just this movie with a bigger budget, but yet the CGI looks even worse. Yeah, Disney has millions of dollars and they can't spend on good CGI or practical effects. The Jumanji movies, all of them are better than Jungle Cruise because they don't have horrendous CGI. Yeah, the first one, some of the CG was dated, but it still looks better than Jungle Cruise. It's very Indiana Jones. There it is. The temple. Or the tomb. And this is way less boring than that Tomb Raider movie that came out in 2018. They don't get to the temple until the end of the film. I'm like, why did you call it Tomb Raider then? She doesn't raid a tomb for 90 minutes into the movie. I'm like, what is it with these bad pacing films? You know, that they have the worst pacing in the world. That's weird that you have these movies that have the pacing of a snail, because that's how I felt when I saw Wicked. I'm like, when we got to Popular, I'm like, yeah, the movie kind of picked up a bit, and then you get to Defying Gravity. I'm like, it's way better in the play, or the Idina Menzel version I hear on YouTube, because it's not as stretched out. In the movie, it's stretched out. It's like she's singing, then she gets interrupted, and she sings and she gets interrupted, and sings and gets interrupted. It's not good filmmaking, John and Chu. You're pretentious. You're a director that's so far up your own anus you don't see the light of day. Sometimes, you're not James Cameron. You're not James Gunn. You're not Christopher McQuarrie or Christopher Nolan or even Peter Jackson. You're not even Chris Columbus. You did the Gem and the Holograms movie, and that flopped so hard. I did like G.I. Joe Retaliation, but it had some problems with the editing and some of the characters that you killed off or you just threw in there. Yeah. A Wicked movie did not need to be 2 hours and 40 minutes. It was too freaking long. That's longer than some of the recent Marvel movies. That's longer than Superman. This one and Man of Steel. It's too long. You better run. Anger. Again, it's like Last Crusade, where he has to walk, and take a leap of faith and all that. I get it, guys. I get it. That's not why I watch Indiana Jones. I watch it for the spectacle and the character and the humor and the action. There's no such thing as an invisible platform. You walk in the air, you'll die. You're not gonna stand. You can Nobody can stand on light, and nobody can fly or stand on an invisible platform. Video games, they do that all the time. 70 minutes in. There's gold and there's this part of the spear. Again, they have to do a dance. It's all time based, like a video game. Like I said, like the Uncharted games or Tomb Raider. You have to dance? You mean like the Sonic movies? I'm glad you didn't do that, Josh. I don't step on girls' toes. Dun, dun, Blue Danube Waltz. Dun, 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 dun. Again, Saws, that was in Last Crusade. Step on a girl's toes when you're dancing. Whether it be break dancing or just waltz. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't look at the feet. I just move, go with the flow. At least there's some classical music in the movie for a couple of seconds. There's no obnoxious soundtrack here because I hated the Fall Guy. Like that movie was so bad because it was so bloated and too much dialogue, and it just was a bunch of ideas fighting each other. Since I was in prom, exactly that's what I said. He said he broke every girl's toes on the dance floor in high school. Again, why did you do that? Yeah, the villain is a bit underused here. The villain in the other movies is used more, and because Kyle MacLachlan, I think he was doing a show at the time. Kelly Hu was in it more in this film. Mm-hmm. The real snake, by the way. This movie does have some real animals, and not the CGI garbage I saw in Jungle Cruise. Machetes. So do I, Kelly. You're drop dead gorgeous. You can act, and you're so soothing. Because even though this woman I don't care for, at least Kelly I can look at her. There's no woman to save me in the second movie. No, I got to deal with Gabriel Anwar's fish face for 92 minutes. Yay. Now McLaughlin's a good actor because he was a good villain in the Flintstones movie. Not yet. He was also in Dune, the original Lynch version from 1984. He was the Paul Atreides before Timothy Chalamet took the mantle, and he's doing great. This is basically a Nathan Drake. I think these movies came out before the Uncharted games because Uncharted came out on the PS3, then the PS4, PS5, etc. Yeah, because they had to get Uncharted had to get inspiration from other ideas. They got it from this and Indiana Jones and things like that. The birds. Yeah, she was in an Uncharted game, not the movie. Would love for her to be in the movie. That would be so ironic. Yeah, the girl from the game is in the movie and in those tight shorts. Again, It's gonna happen. My fantasies are gonna come true at the convention soon. Oh yeah. To lie down because the movie's almost done. You know how I feel about Caitlin. I could see her in anything except for the second season of The Last of Us. Because Joel should not have been killed off in the second episode. That was a big mistake that cost them so much fans. They could have waited till the end of the season, but no. People are watching Peacemaker and these other shows more. Alien Earth. "77 minutes. Snow mountains. I'm gonna see Peacemaker later tonight. Once I have the TV to myself, because I'm gonna be very, very busy this month, doing podcasts and doing reviews. I haven't reviewed a movie in 3 weeks. But September, no long breaks, none. It's like Lord of the Rings. They're walking in the snow, or the Empire Strikes Back. I don't know if that's real snow or just powdered snow. No, the movie's just almost over. We're 80 minutes in. So far, September's going a lot faster than August. August felt like it would never end. It felt way too long. August felt like it was 41 days instead of 31. It's a good score. Oh, this actor was Principal Shimada in Family Matters. Monks. It's a good stat. It's a decent prop because it doesn't. It's only the CG that's very dated in the film. Most of it. Isn't this Buddha or something? I don't know. Whatever it is. Me? That was way too easy. But the movie's not 2 hours, so they gotta get to that. That's not a spear, that's a sword. A spear's a lot thinner. That's literally a sword. Some of the dialogue is cringe, but like I said, I'm getting out of the way now, so I don't have to hear it in the fall. The fall is a new start. It is the last season before the winter, and then this year is over. And we do not talk about 2025 again. Ever again. Because 2026 is going to be the end of a lot of things. For one thing, Cena won't be a wrestler anymore. That's going to suck. But at least we still got other wrestlers I care about. Ugh. A gong? Yeah, the monks are fighting. I thought there were supposed to be people of peace. Not in this continuity. A helicopter. They barely escaped. Yeah, I have. I've seen movies from the asylum look way worse than this. And some theatrical releases. Mongolia. There's Bob Newhart again. Excuse me. Yeah, the bottle. Yeah, her legs are nice, but that's not. Nah, I prefer staying a Caddick. She's a real woman. In the first 30 minutes, she is all over Flynn. He meets her in New Orleans, and she like jumps him in bed. I'm like, again, she's a real woman. She has the sexual energy I'm looking for. No, Kama Sutra. Again, that's a good thing. That means he's not gay. Usually. What do you mean? Yes. Again, you act like that was impossible. If Flynn isn't gay or queer or non-binary or whatever, he's a heterosexual man like me. A woman into myself. So yes. 'They're looking at him like he's crazy. Why is he wearing sheets? He's not naked. Is he similar to like Paul Rudd? That he has that manic energy. 90 minutes in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The agent like, what? Yeah, now they sell Omni cards at the drugstore. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, he disappears for half the movie. And I like these movies better than Night at the Museum because those dipped in quality after the second one. That third one was pretty painful, and then that fourth one was so horrendous. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see another one. Once Robin Williams died, they should have just stopped the franchise completely. A beam in the sky, just like every other movie that's done that recently. We're almost done. Got a few more minutes left, and then the movie's over. 1 o'clock already. Yeah, she does a voice, but she's barely in it. She's barely in it, and so was the black girl was also in it for very little. Why? Because it's not Zachary Levi's movie. It's about his son. Yeah, I don't care about his son. It's a misleading title. It's supposed to be about the main character, not his son. It's not called Son of the Night at the museum. Yep, he killed that guy. Yeah, that guy's dead. He wasn't gonna kill Kelly Who. I mean, come on. Spear, not the spear, like the wrestling spear move, which a lot of people use now. That's next year's 100 years, 2026. And I'm not wasting it. Bob Newhart, at least he does something at the end of this movie. He's not just an old guy. Not bad for an old guy that was. Yeah, you deserve that, you bento. You could spear her. I would love to meet her, but she's not going to the convention yet. She hasn't been announced. Please, in a fight, Kelly Who could beat you in less than a minute. Of course, I have to cut away because the fight's not that long. Here it comes, like final scene. Yeah, Kelly Who Can Fight. She did in Surf Ninjas and in X-Men 2. Yeah, again, what was that Mortal Kombat move? Where did that come from? That Flynn does get beat up because he's not Superman. Let me get up because the movie's almost over and I gotta put it away. Yep, take that. Yep, he gets squished. Yep, he got squished like a Looney Tune cartoon. It is a Warner Brothers release, so I could make that comparison. Like, I can't do Blazing Saddles because it's racist. Again, it was a movie of its time, just like this movie is. That's why the or in a museum. But this was before the Night at the Museum movie, so it's not a ripoff. That was in 2006. This was 2004. Oh, that's a movie. It's almost done. I'm just happy the movie's under 2 hours because there's so many movies that I've done this year that were way too long. Like the Nolan's Batman movies, those are just endless. Like the third one just feels like it won't end. He's got a picture in the library. It's a fun movie. I like it a lot better now than I did when I first saw it. I didn't care for the. This was a fun podcast, even though it's only my first of the month. The ending is kind of like The Dark Knight Rises, except it ends way sooner. This movie's like, this movie's like an hour shorter. He's in a cafe, and then Sonya Wilder shows up at the end, and then that's it. You don't see her in the next movie. Here she comes, like she's Black Widow or something, or Catwoman. If I meet a white girl, listen, she's not going to be British, I guarantee you. No, there's no H.G. Wells in the next one. So that was the librarian and the quest for the spear. Next time we'll do King Solomon's Mines tomorrow. Earlier though. TNT they have to have a nice plug-in for their channel. It still exists, by the way. That was it. That's it for the librarian. There's one more to go, because I did this third one already, so I'm glad I did. So thanks for watching, guys. Acknowledge me. See this if you can, if you haven't seen it already. And tomorrow we will be doing the sequel. Return to King Solomon's Mines. See you then. Peace.